Hello and welcome to Story English Podcast, the show where real British English comes alive through stories you'll actually remember. I'm Clara.
And I'm Daniel. Today's episode lands squarely in our favourite category, social and polite chaos.
And what a story it is. Picture this. You've just moved into a brand new flat in East London. You're nervous but excited. You've invited a few friends over for a housewarming, only to realise, mid-party, that you've accidentally complimented your neighbour's flat instead of your own.
And not just any neighbour, the one who's been glaring at you through the letterbox for weeks.
Exactly. So buckle in, because this tale is packed with awkward glances, misplaced enthusiasm, and one very confused pot plant.
Before we dive in, here are 3 things you'll pick up today. First, how Brits soften awkward moments with understatement. Second, the subtle power of the present perfect continuous tense. And third, how words like posh, dodgy, and lovely carry more cultural baggage than you might think.
All of these will weave through the story naturally. No jargon, no drills. Just real people, real English, and one brilliantly messy housewarming.
Ready? Let's go back to a damp Tuesday evening in late October.
It had been raining all day. Gentle, persistent drizzle, the kind that makes your coat feel permanently damp and your mood slightly soggy. I'd just moved into flat 3B on Larkspur Mews, a narrow brick terrace in Hackney. My first proper solo flat after years of shared houses and shoebox studios.
The place smelled of fresh paint, lemon-scented cleaner, and that faint metallic tang of new radiators heating up for the first time. Boxes still lined the hallway, but I'd made an effort. String lights above the sofa, mismatched mugs from charity shops, and a single sad-looking cheese board on the coffee table.
I was nervous. Not just, will the wine be cold nervous, but what if no one comes nervous? Or worse, what if they come and realise I'm completely out of my depth as an adult?
You'd invited about 8 people, mostly colleagues from the publishing house, a couple of uni friends, and Sarah, your oldest mate, who'd promised to bring her legendary sticky toffee pudding.
I kept checking my phone. 7:30. No one yet. I rearranged the biscuits for the 3rd time. Was rich tea too boring? Should I have gone for chocolate digestives? Was I even pronouncing digestives right?
Digestives. It's digests, not digestives. But honestly, no one cares, especially not when there's cake.
At 8:10, the doorbell rang. Relief flooded through me until I opened the door and saw Mrs. Thorne from 3A standing there in a floral housecoat holding a potted fern.
Not your guest, your neighbour. The one who'd once hissed "keep the noise down" through her door when you played jazz at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
My brain short-circuited. "Oh, Mrs. Thorne, hello. Are you coming in?" I stammered.
She gave me this slow blink like a cat deciding whether you're worth the trouble and said, "I saw people gathering, thought I'd see what all the fuss was about."
Now, in hindsight, I should have said, "Actually, it's a private gathering," but instead, flustered and desperate to seem neighbourly, I blurted, "Oh, please do. You'll love it. It's absolutely lovely in here."
Wait, in here, meaning your flat?
No, because as she stepped past me into the hallway, she turned left toward her own front door and said, "Well, I should hope so. I've only just finished repainting."
You'd complimented her flat, not yours.
Oh, I'd walked into her hallway thinking it was mine. The layout was identical, same narrow passage, same off-white walls, but her place had those ornate brass light switches and a framed photo of a Shih Tzu wearing a tiny hat.
Ah yes, the Shih Tzu hat, the ultimate giveaway.
And then, just as I was standing there, frozen like a deer in someone else's living room, Sarah arrived with the pudding. She took one look at me, then at Mrs. Thorne's suspicious glare, and whispered, "Clara, what are you doing in 3A?"
Social implosion imminent.
The worst part? My actual guests started arriving. My colleague, Marcus, my friend, Priya, even my boss, Nigel, who'd only come because he fancied a chinwag. And every single one of them walked straight past me and into Mrs. Thorne's flat, assuming I was hosting from there.
And so began the great Larkspur Mews housewarming fiasco of 2025.
Mrs. Thorne stood by her fireplace like a stern queen, watching strangers help themselves to her shortbread and admire her posh wallpaper. Meanwhile, I was hovering in the doorway, trying to herd people back to my actual flat, flat 3B, without sounding like a madwoman.
And this is where British politeness really kicks in, isn't it? Because no one said, "Why are we in the wrong flat?" They just went with it.
Exactly. Priya kept saying things like, "Ooh, this is ever so cozy," while sipping tea from Mrs. Thorne's bone china. Marcus complimented the excellent acoustics, as if evaluating a concert hall, not a neighbour's sitting room.
And Nigel, your boss, leaned over to me and said, "You've really gone to town, Clara. This place is smashing."
I wanted to crawl into the biscuit tin and never come out. Every time I tried to explain, I'd start with, "Actually, this isn't," and someone would interrupt with, "Isn't the radiator just the right temperature?" Or, "Who did your curtains? Divine."
It's like the entire room had entered a shared delusion, politely, of course, where your mistake simply didn't exist.
The turning point came when Sarah, bless her, picked up Mrs. Thorne's Shih Tzu photo and said, "Clara, since when did you get a dog called Lady Penelope?"
Oh no.
Oh, I finally snapped. In a voice louder than I intended, I said, "This isn't my flat. I live next door. I've been complimenting the wrong bloody flat."
And the room went silent.
Every eye turned to me. Even the kettle stopped whistling, I swear. Mrs. Thorne's lips pressed into a thin line. Nigel raised one eyebrow like I'd just announced I'd been embezzling paperclips.
And then, what happened?
Mrs. Thorne looked at me for a long moment, then let out this tiny, unexpected snort. Not a laugh, more like the sound a tea kettle makes when it's almost whistling.
Go on.
She said, "Well, I suppose if you've been saying such nice things about my home, the least I can do is share it." And she turned to the room and announced, "Everyone move next door. The host's actually in 3B.
She saved you.
She did. And not only that, she carried her best shortbread over to my place, helped me rearrange the furniture so the sofa wasn't blocking the radiator, and even showed Priya how to work my temperamental oven.
So the party ended up being a success.
Better than that, it became legendary. We stayed up till midnight, me, my friends, and Mrs. Thorne, who told us stories about her late husband and how they danced in this very hallway when they first moved in 60 years ago.
Sometimes the most awkward moments open the door to something real.
And I've never called a flat lovely without double-checking the door number since.
That story really does capture how Brits navigate social minefields with a mix of awkwardness, understatement, and quiet kindness.
And now, let's unpack some of the language that made this chaos so British. We'll start with 3 phrases that slipped in naturally.
First, ever so. You heard Priya say, "This is ever so cozy."
Ever so is a softener, a way to add warmth without overdoing it. It's more polite than just very, and carries a gentle, almost affectionate tone.
You'll hear it in phrases like ever so kind, ever so sorry, or ever so slightly late.
It's not, I'm very sorry I ruined your evening. It's, I'm ever so sorry. Less direct, more considerate.
And in natural speech, it often links ever so cozy, with the R linking to the S and the so reduced to sa.
Common mistake? Learners sometimes say ever very, which isn't a thing, or they overuse it in formal writing. It's mostly spoken and mostly informal or semi-formal.
Try saying it now. That's ever so helpful. Feels polite, doesn't it? Like you're holding the words gently.
Second phrase, gone to town. Nigel said, "You've really gone to town."
This means you've put in extra effort, maybe even too much. It's positive with a hint of, wow, you didn't hold back. You can go to town on decorating, cooking, planning, even on complaining.
She really went to town on that spreadsheet. It's got pivot tables, conditional formatting, the works.
It's casual, friendly, and slightly playful. You wouldn't use it in a legal document, but it's perfect at a party or texting a mate.
And crucially, it's not sarcastic unless your tone makes it so. Said with a smile, it's genuine praise. Said with a raised eyebrow, maybe teasing.
You'll often hear it with the present perfect, you've gone to town, not you went to town, because the focus is on the present result of that past effort. Third phrase, the least I can do. Mrs. Thorne said, the least I can do is share it.
This is a humble, generous phrase. It suggests that what you're offering is small, but actually it's kind and meaningful.
It's deeply embedded in British courtesy. Someone helps you carry groceries. Oh, the least I can do is make you a cuppa. You borrow their lawnmower. The least I can do is mow your hedge too.
It's never about keeping score, it's about maintaining goodwill. And it almost always comes with a small action, not just words.
Pronunciation. The least I can do, with a soft th and least holding a tiny bit of stress. Don't rush it. It's meant to linger.
Now, the grammar pattern we promised, the present perfect continuous.
This tense, has, have, been plus ing, shows an action that started in the past and is still relevant now, often with visible results.
In the story, we didn't say, I lived next door. We said, I've been complimenting the wrong flat. Why?
Because the focus isn't just on the past action, it's on the ongoing confusion, the current mess, the fact that the mistake is still unfolding in that moment.
Think, I've been waiting for the bus for 20 minutes, and I'm still waiting. She's been painting all morning, and the room still smells of turpentine.
Compare that to the present perfect simple. I've complimented the wrong flat. That would mean it's done, finished, but in the story, the chaos is live, ongoing.
Other natural examples, we've been looking for you everywhere. He's been working late all week. They've been arguing about the bins again.
Notice how it often pairs with time expressions like all day, for ages, or lately, and it's super common in spoken English, especially when explaining current states. Finally, let's look at 6 culturally rich vocabulary words that popped up.
First, posh. Priya called Mrs. Thorne's wallpaper posh.
Posh means stylish, upscale, maybe a bit fancy, but not necessarily expensive. It can describe a person, place, or thing, a posh restaurant, a posh accent, even posh crisps.
It's not always complimentary. It can carry envy or mockery. Ooh, look at you with your posh new job.
But in the story, it was genuine admiration, and it's very British. Americans might say fancy or upscale, but posh has that specific UK flavour.
Second, dodgy. You didn't use it, but it's lurking in the background. If your flat had dodgy wiring or a dodgy landlord, that means unreliable, suspicious, or low quality.
That kebab shop, bit dodgy after midnight. It's informal, slightly humorous, and very common.
Don't use it in formal contexts, but it's gold for describing anything sketchy, from Wi-Fi to handshakes.
Third, lovely. You said Mrs. Thorne's flat was lovely.
Ah, the British Swiss Army knife of adjectives. Lovely can mean beautiful, pleasant, kind, or even just fine, thanks.
How was your weekend? Oh, lovely. Even if you spent it reassembling IKEA furniture in socks.
It's a shield, a way to keep things light, positive, and socially smooth. Overused? Maybe. Essential? Absolutely.
Fourth, chinwag. Nigel said he fancied a chinwag.
A chinwag is a casual chat, usually friendly, often gossipy. It's playful, informal, and very visual. Imagine wagging your chin as you talk.
Older generations love this word. Pop round for a chinwag and a cuppa. It's warm, unhurried, and deeply communal.
Fifth, smashing. Nigel called your flat smashing.
Meaning excellent, wonderful, first rate. It's old-fashioned but still used with a wink. That's a smashing idea.
It sounds like something a 1940s RAF pilot would say, but it's not dead, just affectionately retro.
Sixth, shortbread. Not just a biscuit, cultural shorthand for hospitality.
In the UK, bringing shortbread to a neighbour's says, "I mean no harm." It's humble, traditional, and universally liked. Mrs. Thorne serving it wasn't just baking, it was peacemaking.
So here's our challenge to you this week. Try using one of these phrases, ever so, gone to town, or the least I can do, in a real conversation.
Maybe tell your colleague their presentation was ever so clear. Or say, "I've gone to town on this essay."
And if you do, come back and tell us how it went in the comments. We read every single one.
If you enjoy learning British English through stories like this, hit subscribe. New episodes drop every week.
Thanks for being here, for listening closely, and for turning awkward moments into learning ones.
See you next time with more real English, real stories, and maybe fewer wrong flats.